Well, good afternoon. It's your afternoon girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels. I hope you are having a wonderful hump day. And I told you I was going to be going live, and we had a very special person that we were going to be talking to, get a chance to hear his story and all that. All right, so let me just introduce the pastor of Kingdom Life Ministry, Pastor Alvernis Johnson. How are you doing on this Wednesday, Pastor?
I'm doing fantastic, Yvonne. How are you, our girlfriend?
Do what I can, do what I can. So, you've had quite the journey. And I said Pastor Johnson of Kingdom Life Ministries, but you're also the president of the City of Light Community Development Corporation. I've had a chance to work with you guys. You guys do some amazing work in the community, but we want to roll it all because the reason we are here now, you've been a blessing to this community for decades now. But, with the pandemic, with what we have all been dealing with for the past few months, COVID-19 in the building trying to wreck up some stuff. And we all have had people that I'm sure that we've known that have had it, that have had, that have possibly even passed from it. But you yourself, I'm going to let you tell this story, but you actually had COVID-19.
Yes. Well, unfortunately and fortunately, I experienced it. There were some positive things that came out of it, of course, but I couldn't see that in the beginning. On April 1st, my wife rushed me to the emergency room at Covenant Hospital. I've been sick for about 13 days. And of course, I kept denying it was COVID-19. I got a 24-hour bug, or what have you. Unfortunately, that morning, April 1st, I woke up and could not breathe. And so the night before, my wife said to me, "If you're not better by the morning, we're going to call your doctor." So I agreed. And that morning, it was just terrible. I was trying to go to the bathroom, couldn't make it 2 or 3 steps. And so we did call the doctor. They heard my voice over the phone and said immediately go to emergency. And when I arrived at emergency, Covenant Hospital, and they went to the examining room, I was suffering from acute respiratory failure. The virus had gotten into my lungs and crystallized mucus were blocking my airways. Usually they wanted to put me on a ventilator, the respirator. And so I prayed a silent prayer because I had so many friends that had passed away prior to me going to the hospital. This thing, our denomination, in a way that nothing else has. We lost 30 pastors within weeks.
Yes.
The top leadership has passed away. And so I had family members that were ill. And so the last thing I wanted to do was be one of the ones. And I contracted the disease, ironically, at my uncle's funeral.
Wow.
And a cousin who was there with me, he's now passed away. My aunt is in the hospital. My wife's aunt passed away. We've been hit hard with this thing. And so being in the hospital, in the critical care unit, thankfully, I did not have to go on a respirator. It's some aggressive breathing treatments and some other medications, steroids. It's working hard because I did not want to go on a ventilator because a lot of people just go on.
Right.
And so that began a journey for me in the hospital in the critical care. I came home on April 5th.
Okay.
And I was in the lower level of my house where I am right now. I've just left this place. My family had, put it up, made it real nice to come home. And I spent another 30 days down here getting better.
Wow. So you were in the hospital for about 4 days, about 4 or 5 days, huh? Battling that.
Yes.
Okay.
Right 5 days. And it was the worst 5 days of my life. I don't like hospitals like most people, but for me, it was so much uncertainty. And the doctors and the nurses were fantastic, but nobody had answers. I would ask, what's going to happen?
Right.
Too much immune system. And thankfully, it was a miracle. I'm gonna tell you right now, me getting out of the hospital that short of a time was a miracle.
Okay.
Failure that I was suffering, my lungs were shutting down.
Okay.
And they couldn't medicate me because it was inside my lungs. And so it was God that delivered me from the virus and being here today.
And we're hearing more stories like this in our, like you said, in our community. having said that, and I do believe that it was the Lord that brought you out of that as well. But there are things that we have to be doing too. Especially in our community, like continuing to wear our mask and continuing to social distance. And I'm seeing more and more people take their mask off as they go into the stores, and it's like, God will keep you, but we have to do stuff on our own. We have to do our part too. So
yes, and I'm an advocate for masks. Now, usually this guy behind me usually has on a mask. So I had to borrow his because mine was used. But I keep that back there as a reminder. And I'm doing something called I mask because I care. I mask, I care. That's why I wear it, because I care about other people.
Yes.
I didn't get this virus in myself. I didn't go searching for it. I was in a room with a bunch of people like myself at the time who were not conscious and caring enough. This was March 21st. Yeah, here we hit March 13th. But I didn't take it as serious as I should have. And I was on open mic, and that's why I contracted it. Somebody had it, left it in the microphone. When I put the microphone down, it hit the bottom of my lip. Never wipe it. Nothing. Other than that, I was very careful. I didn't shake hands, I didn't kiss, I didn't hug. When I got home that day, I was sick. And so I thought it was the past, but for the next 12 days, I suffered. I suffered in the worst. I wouldn't wish this pain on my friend, and that's the truth.
Wow.
I mean, trying not to cough, coughing was excruciating. The pain was out of this world. And then the psychological effects of it and the after effects of it is almost as bad as the disease itself. I went into a fear. I was paranoid. I have a 7-year-old twins, well, they're 8 now. When I got home, I was so nervous. I had to come out from downstairs. I've been around again a little bit, but I was masked up, and my little girl coughed. I was like, right. You go outside. It was really bad. But even now, when I go to school, I wear a mask and gloves. I keep sanitizer in my car. We haven't resumed our church services yet because we want to make sure that our building is upgraded to really keep our parishioners safe. And so we're doing outdoor services. Starting next week. We just got to be careful. We can't take it lightly. It curves went down some, but then it spiked in other areas. And I know who was in his 80s in Mississippi. He went through Alabama, hit Mississippi, and he became ill. So, we gotta be careful.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, thank God you came out of that. You're wearing your mask, you're wearing your gloves, but out of all of that agony and pain came a blessing. You said, you know what? I rolled up out of this. God had brought me up out of this, and so I'm going to be a blessing to others. So tell us what that birth for you.
Okay, my daughter is bringing me some earphones because obviously the reception so I'm obeying them.
You do sound a whole lot better too. So thank you for whoever did that. So.
Oh, that's. And so, please ask that question again. She was getting me set up here.
Okay, but you can hear me okay though, can't you? Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, I was saying that out of all of that, the agony, you were saying you wouldn't wish that pain on anyone. You suffered, you were in the hospital, but out of all of that came such mighty blessings. So tell us what was birthed out of all that you suffered from in surviving COVID-19.
Yeah. Well, amazingly, I had some incredible experiences while in the hospital alone. And when I got home, I really felt impressed to write about my experience. I'm a talker. And so I was going to talk, but I really felt led this time not to talk as much as write. And so I wrote a book called Surviving COVID-19 from Virus to Victory. And all the proceeds from that book go toward 3 areas. We were helping local hospitals at that time with PPE. We were giving back to healthcare workers. We've been able to bless over 300 healthcare and other essential workers with gas cards, food cards, gas cards, and other household items. We've given away through our church over 8,000 meals during the pandemic. Also, people who are suffering or challenged rather with funeral costs. That's the forgotten areas. People are trying to bury loved ones. They didn't expect them to die, and they're not prepared. We've been able to bless them with assistance and funeral costs, and and it's all about giving back. You know, I'm a man that's glad to be alive,
Yes.
and I believe I survived to help others.
Yes. Yeah. He didn't bring about that just for you to say, "Whoo, thank you, Lord," but to
Right.
blessing, like you have been doing, and you've been doing this, giving back with the groceries and the gas and the helping with funeral services for some weeks now. But you've got something even bigger that's going to be. Well, I don't know if I want to say even bigger, but you've got another big blessing that people can get in on. So share a little bit about that with us.
Well, we after, and let me just say this as I answer that question. Thanks to all of the folks on Facebook who have stood with me and helped me be a blessing. These people have given generously. Our goal was $15,000. That was 5,000 for hospitals, 5,000 for healthcare workers, and 5,000 for families. And so we've gotten almost there. We've over $8,000 already in donations. Well, one of the things that we found out was that there are people who are essential workers and are having transportation issues, but they caught the bus, they got rides to work, and so we're going to give away a car. We've partnered with Graph Motors in Bay City, and through their generosity and generosity of others who've given, we're able to give this car to a person who needs a car. And
Wow.
so they can simply email nominations of people. If you know someone out there who it's not a second car, it's not an extra car, just they need a car. And so we
Right.
want to be sure that we give it to the right person. And so they can email us at info surviving cv19.com.
Okay.
Did I say that right? Yeah. At oh yeah. Lord have mercy. I'm the worst.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. I was going to
Yeah,
say,
it's
what is it again? It's, make sure we get it right for you here.
info
Info
at surviving
at surviving.
cv19.
You say CB?
CB like victory.
Okay,
cv.com.
CB19. Okay. .com. All right.
Yep. They can also find me on Facebook. I've become a Facebook person. I host what's called Quarantine Cabin, and we are on every night, Monday
Oh,
through Friday.
okay.
It's a Quarantine Cabin check in. We check in, see how people are doing, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and they can
Yeah.
find me there as well. We want to be a blessing,
Okay.
and we bless mailman, the sanitary workers, UPS workers, grocery store workers. We walked into at home store and blessed. The manager there was working alone
Wow.
because people didn't want to come to work.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to forget these people who made life easier for us, who
Yes.
are very hard.
We thank them. We thank them so much. So I put it here in the chat box here, info at survivingcv19.com. If you guys want to email to be entered for that car and so you said that's been extended. So you're going to give the car away on July 3rd, did you say?
Well, they can nominate until July 3rd.
Until
And
July
then
3rd.
and then we're going to choose the person and that following week, which is the 10th, July 10th, we'll release the car. We're going to do it earlier, but we didn't have enough. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak it. We didn't have enough exposure. And so I'm hoping to give us a little more exposure so we can get names in, because we want to bless that person. People actually have cars that we've been talking to. So
Right. Well, we want to shout out all the people that are watching, like Simona. We love Simona Perry and Kayla and Rochelle. We just thank you guys so much. You can share this, our post on Kiss 107.1. You can share the YouTube channel, all of that. And if anyone needs a car as an essential worker, please let them nominate, and please have them nominate someone or nominate themselves or whomever. We definitely want to make sure that this car goes to someone in need. And like you said, I couldn't even imagine trying to hold down a whole store by myself because people don't want to come to work, and this is a time like we've never seen. So but and I always say, though, don't waste this pandemic. This pandemic has been brutal on people, on their families, but there's so much time for us to kind of just reignite fires, to learn new information, what I'm saying? And I think it can be and has been a wonderful time if we have been able to use it as such. So even with you suffering, and this is also a message for people that are suffering, not only with you going through COVID-19, but as we suffer through other things, we have to remember and know that God can bring us out. But when he brings us out now, we gotta be a blessing. We gotta pay it forward. We have to do other things,
That's right.
with that as well. So, man, we just thank you so much for all that you have done and what you've meant to this community. Bishop Johnson, you are just a jewel. So we appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for
Well, thank you.
story with us. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate. I heard you speaking at the march downtown, and I thought those words were so poignant. And we need a voice, and I thank you so much for creating that voice and giving that space for that. And as you said something that was very powerful that I won't ever forget. Don't waste the pandemic. That was powerful because if this is not changing you, then you're already behind.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So keep those words, and as we continue, because it's not over. It's not over, and I don't want to get into. I was thinking about something. I don't want to get into preaching mode because I get to thinking about the word, but I someone told me a story, not a story, but they were explaining and expounding on when Noah. When he got all of the animals into the ark, and that whole ark experience went from one February to the next. So that was a whole year that they were on that ark going through that. We were thinking, oh, that was just kind of like maybe a week or two. That was a whole year. So we have to know that this thing is not over yet,
That's right.
And as people continue to be disobedient, it may stretch it out even more. But even in all of that, we can still thrive and be blessed. And with people like you doing such great things for the community, once again, I just continue to say, don't waste this pandemic. And then with the racial tension, all of this stuff is not happening. It ain't coincidence. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's right.
Yeah,
there was a clear message being sent to us as a people at large that this is a time for us to come together and to not be divided. It's a time for us to really look at some things that are happening in our neighborhoods with the disproportionate virus spreading to the African American and poor communities. It's a time for us to understand that wealth was created to share, and when you hoard wealth, you don't distribute it evenly, this kind of stuff happens.
Yep, it does. So, well, I tell you what, you are spreading the love, you're spreading the wealth, you're spreading the cars. So, once again, make sure that you all share this info@survivingcv19.com. Nominate someone, nominate yourself to be a part of this great blessing. Bishop Alvernis Johnson, we thank you so much, sir, for all that you do once again. And thank you for sharing your journey.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Were there any last words you wanted to say before we get off here?
Well, I just want everybody to get the book because all the proceeds from the book are going to go toward helping people. It is called Surviving COVID-19 from Virus to Victory. And you can email that same email address. You can visit us online at survivingcv19.com. Join us on Facebook. We're going to make sure we get the word out. It's time to spread the love. We had no bad news. Let's spread some good news.
Yes, for sure. All right. Surviving COVID-19 from Virus to Victory. There is the title of the book. And hang tight 1 second. Let me see my. All right. And what was any other information you wanted me to share in there? We've got the email address, the name of the book, and it was
the website is survivingcv19.com.
survivingcv19.com. All right. And let's see, the website is in there. All right, there we go. We got all the information in there. So, all right, have a great day, and I'll see you at the next event, Pastor.
All right, I look forward to it. God bless.
All right, take care. God bless.